Obviously, as an accounting business, we will get involved in compliance at the start of the registration process. Obviously, you've got to show your financial sustainability. And I sense from looking around and looking at the conference that there's been a lot of presentations on compliance. So I'm not going to particularly go right into the depths of compliance, but obviously at the start, a lot of the work you do at the start, it's work anyone should do when they're setting up a business. So to set up an RTO, you've got to do all your forecasting, you've got to do your business plan, you've got to do your ratios. And I know it would probably seem like a pain in the butt when you're doing it at the time, but it is something that all business should do, and it's something they should use for the life of their business, because you're setting up yourself, in your business, and you're going to put a lot of time into it, and you should measure how you perform in your business. So in compliance, you've got to set yourself up, you've got to do all this forecasting, and a lot of people do a lot of forecast a lot of things and have a lot of ratios in place when they set up their business. And then when they start in their business, when they start running their business, they never look back at how they're performing. So, I've had clients, and so clients or some clients, they'll put $100, they'll bet $100, and they're going to watch the game. They're going to watch that game. They're going to watch that horse race. But the same clients will spend their whole life and a lot more cash than that, and they won't watch the race of your business. Your business is in a race, so it's more like a marathon race, but your business is there for the long term. And if you're not doing this kind of thing and meeting with an advisor, you're spending a lot of your own time by investing in your own business, and not to meet an advisor, an accountant, or meet internally. Actually, just a quick question. Who here meets at least once every 3 months to discuss their business accounts? Yeah, so it's maybe not even half the room. So, and obviously you guys in this industry at any time you can get hit with an audit and get a review. So it is something you need to, that hangs over your head all the time anyway. And it's something that is great. So when I sit down with clients and we review their performance, we're looking at the trends, right? So my clients, so before when you actually get them on board to do this performance monitoring, there's a lot of it's going to cost more money and it's going to cost this. It's not how much it costs, it's how much it's going to save you. It is going to save you, and for the cost of getting this reporting done, because every quarter the government's going to ask you to lodge your GST and your activity statement. So you're more than halfway there to get to this stage. And the way accounting is online with cloud accounting, you can basically look at your information live and up to date. As long as someone's doing the work to keep it up to date, you can do that. But you can also have meetings. You can have meetings over the phone. You don't need to travel 50 kilometres to see your accountant. You don't need to go to their office. You can have the meeting online. You can have it through Zoom. We use Zoom with our clients. We share screens. So sharing screens, you're looking at live reports, drilling down into live information, which helps in the education process, so that, and we can't all be experts in everything. So I'm not asking anyone to consider being an expert in accounting and their affairs, but running a business, it comes in line. This is part and parcel of running a business. You're putting a lot of time on, you're putting a lot of risk into this. So you're running a business, and you as a director of a business, or you're putting a lot of time, and you've got a lot of risk if you're running a business like this. And with risk, you want reward. You want to be rewarded for what you're doing. So, it's not just employment. It's not as safe as employment. And keeping an understanding and monitoring your business is very important. So when we do this with clients, we'll sit down, and a client, because sometimes they're so far removed from this, they'll say, well, no, my machinery costs, how could my machinery costs go from 40,000 in the December 3 months to the 31 December 16 to 100,000 in 31 March 17? So things like that, and if you don't sit down and have these meetings, they're never identified. And some of these things maybe it's a mistake, but maybe it's not. And you need to go and look into it, and you need to understand what it is and to identify. Like, nobody wants to lose $60,000 a quarter. Nobody wants to be leaking, and that's what we would call it. We would be leaking. And it's not just on the expense side, it's also on the revenue. So there's a common, I'd say, I guess it's common in all people to say how busy they are. Everyone's like, I'm so busy, I've got no time to look at reports, I've got no time to understand how my business is performing. And so then you've got no time, you might be thinking you're busy, and sometimes people equate busy with making money and being profitable. You don't know until you look at something like this to know if you are actually being profitable. So all that time of being busy and stressed and not looking after your business, are you making a profit, or do you feel like this is coming? You can explain being busy and not making a profit, for 3 months, 6 months, or a little while. But if you keep on feeling that way and nothing's happening, you need to have a real good think about it to understand if you are doing the right thing in your business, what you need to change in your business, maybe what you need to change in your life.